do you have any advice for college students bringing these concepts into their dorms? Have you ever seen any success like this thus far in that environment?
Yeah, that really the area that we're most interested in. You know, evil propagates on its own without any additional help. So you hurt somebody and they'll very easily go and hurt somebody else. We believe that truth and goodness and God's presence should propagate on its own too. It should be something that spreads sort of infectiously when you have it. And so, you mentioned the Rare Leadership book. We wrote a secular version of a Rare Leadership in the workplace and say, hey, we'll show you how to be joyful people who are building a group identity, and this is what we're going to do in our workplace. And it's been very interesting for me to watch that book, that particular application, take off faster than the Christian book has even. So, one of the top 3 software places in the United States, they wanted their sales team to study it. The Christian Association of Dentists wanted to use that in their workplace. It's the idea of, this is the kind of people we all wish we had as a boss, as a fellow employee, as someone like that. So if Christians have something joyful, they will spread that to the people around them. So the sort of the contagious nub involves, I'd say, sort of 3 elements. One is you're joyful. Secondly, when you pass something to other people, you do so peacefully. So passing the peace has been one of the books that we read. So if what I have to tell you comes out agitated, upset, you're not going to want to hear it. But if I'm experiencing God's peace when I tell you something, all of a sudden you wonder, how are you peaceful about that? What about you gives that calm, that lack of worry, that lack of whatever else? You're glad to be with me. There's a joy. But the message you bring me is one of peace. And even Jesus said, when we go into a town, you look for the man of peace, right? We're looking for the people who will accept peace. They're not Christians yet. But they're interested in someone approaching them with peace. And so that's the second element. The third element is, if we go back to the upper room discourse with Jesus, he says to his disciples, from now on, the world will not see me, but the people who are attached to me will see me. And Judas, not Iscariot, is just surprised. How do you mean they're not going to see you? And Jesus explained, no, to see me, you have to have an attachment with me, a love for me in your heart. And then when Jesus says, you'll go into the world and be my witnesses, I believe he's talking about you'll be the one who goes there and sees that I'm there. Not someone who'll go out and be able to explain, all of the intricate theology of the Bible. It's like, you can see I'm present. And when you bring that news to other people, like, Jesus is here and he likes you. And here's what he likes about you. And here's what he wants to grow in you. This is very irresistible for anybody who is open to God at all. It'll also bring attacks from some other people, but that's the nature of the kingdom, right? It offends the ones who are just determined that they want to promote evil. But I think if you look at those simple things, I'm here, I'm glad to be with you, I share with you my peace, and I see in the moment what Jesus is seeing here. And it takes some practice to learn to do that. That, I think, spreads very nicely to any dorm, any college. And obviously also, seeing what Jesus sees involves a prayer life that is listening to him. But this is what we're trying to learn to do. And then finally, because there are going to be people who will put you into enemy mode, we need to have a few people on our side who say, yeah, I'm going to be with you while you're in enemy mode. And when I get into enemy mode, it's like my internet goes off. So I no longer hear God very clearly because I'm mad. So I need to be with some people whose Wi-Fi I can borrow. So, you're connected with God still. You're not upset about this. You can hear what and you can bring me back into connection with him. That kind of group fellowship will pull us back from the people that are driving us crazy. So those are the elements I'd suggest for your daughter. And, you know, if anything in there resonates with her, it's probably God's Spirit at work.
You mentioned having that person outside that can speak to us when we're in enemy mode, and immediately flashed in my head Balaam and his donkey. He was in enemy mode, and the only thing he could hear from was the donkey.
God will pick some strange ways.